It's me, I'm back again. I realized on the previous video when I first started, I sounded exhausted, and that's probably how a lot of us, I know I do, and I did, and I'm sure I will be when closing out your budget. But hopefully, the more you do it, the easier it becomes, and probably don't do it when your battery has died, linked to things are under maintenance, or your computer's not working. Probably do it when things aren't all hectic. So let's get started with the next phase of our closing the budget, Marianne Cress way. So let's go back to our June budget by paycheck worksheets. So we have all of our paycheck bill trackers and our expense trackers, cash and debit. And it is now, the month has finished and we are ready to close out our budget. Now, if this is your first time here, I highly suggest to watch the video before this where I talked about how to fill out this running total worksheet that I created, which is free. I'll put the link below to my Google Drive. So if it's your first time here, go to that video and come back once you've watched that, because all these numbers will probably not make sense, or it'll be a little bit hard to figure out at first. So this was my June running total worksheet where I have added up all my where I have noted down all my inflows, all my grocery and so on of expense categories. And now we're going to use the figures on this page instead of adding up all of these items, which will drive you nuts if you don't enter the number correctly or you miss or something, and then you'll have to redo it all again. So all it is breaking down these numbers into little chunks that we can easily add up at the end of the month. So here we go. Now remember, the way we worked out all of these information to see if it balances out is we worked out our opening balance, we added all the inflow, that gives us a little subtotal, and then we minus all the expense category total, and this should give us a closing balance. And if that's the same as the figure that's at the end of your month or at the end of the page of the expense tracker you're working on, you're good to go. So we're going to use the exact same formula to now work out where our money went. And we'll hold on to that and we'll go work out all the details that we need to enter on this. So the starting balance is the amount you've carried over from May. This includes your cash in your cash envelopes, as well as the amount that's you're carrying over from your debit account. Now, on this page, I have that information already. So here we have $65. That was the opening or starting balance. I'll try and use the same terminology as the budget by paycheck worksheet. So the starting balance for cash is $65. So let's just highlight that. So $65, and then the starting balance for my debit account was $347.32. So we'll just highlight that. So let's add those two figures together. $412.32. That is the amount that you put in this box in your Where Did My Money Go for June? $412.32. That figure is really important because that makes up the amount of income that you have used up for the month of June. If you don't count it, first thing is your numbers just won't be right. So that bit of your Where Did My Money Go is done. So you can put a tick. Now, incoming balance, incoming income or incoming inflow. So all the money that came in that you used up for your expenses for June. Now, that is all the information here. Now, in the previous video, I had explained why I crossed off some of these figures. It was due to movement of money from my debit account to my cash envelopes or vice versa. We don't count them because or else that's double entry and it'll put off your numbers because it'll be like as if you got double the amount of money coming in when actually it's just movement of money from one account to the other. So no expenses, no income. So let's add up all these figures that are not crossed off. Let me add all those details. The money that came in for the month of June for us was $12,282.24. Now remember, that figure is not necessarily just income earned or from our paycheck. It's money that we transferred back in from savings account, sinking funds, if we sold anything on eBay of old items that we had put up there, or any inflow of money from the side hustle that I have. Okay, so I have added up all the total here. If you wanted, before writing it down on your Where Did My Money Go, you can add it up and pop it. You can add the information in this area over here. Either way, doesn't really matter. Might be good to have it here so then all your figures add up. Right, so now where's our formula? We have our opening balance for $12.32, our inflow, which we added up here. Okay, our inflow, and then all our total expense category. So now we do exactly the same thing we did in the previous video. We add our opening balance, we add our opening balance to our inflow and get a subtotal, and then we minus all the expense on here, and then we should get a figure which is our closing balance. Here we go. We'll put this aside and let's do some of our calculations. Equals subtotal, and we minus all our expenses. Oh, and just make sure to write your numbers clearly. Don't be like me and try and figure out if that's 183 or 153. So write your numbers clearly. It's really important so you don't make the same mistake that I do. Okay, so now we have a closing balance amount. Now, here's a thing to see if that is correct. So let's just write that down before I clear it. So I've added on here a line closing balance because this, all your expenses plus your closing balance should equal starting balance and incoming income, which is your total income. I'll add that in a second to see if we're correct. Well, actually, I'll add it now. So, total monthly income is your starting balance plus all the inflow. Did I write that? Okay. All right. Now, is this correct? Guess what? We can refer back to our running total sheet, because on your running total sheet you should have written what the closing balance is. Now remember, let's see on our budget by Paycheck. So closing balance for cash is $190. So on the sheet I just put here closing balance for the cash is $190. And then closing balance for the debit, for my debit anyway, is $1,263.23. So based on the formula we worked out, this is the last line, the last page of my debit account. So opening balance plus inflow minus all of these expenses, and I wrote it down here, $1,263.23. Let's just highlight that. So closing balance is what you have left over in your cash is $190 plus what is left in your debit account, $1,453.23. $1,453.23. That closing balance figure, the way we work that out is that plus that minus all of these equals that. So really, if you add all of this, it should equal that. So let's do it. Let's see if it works out. Okay, let's see how fast I can do this. Oh, gosh darn it, I pressed the button. However, it was that figure it looked like. So I'll just quickly fast track through. I just want to make sure that it's the same rather than saying it's the same. Bum. Don't touch any buttons. 12,694.56. 12,694.56. So remember, all of this equals 12,694.56. This figure and that figure match. Match. And we've closed out the budget. That's pretty much what it is just adding up everything that came in, adding everything that came out, and then the most important portion of where did my money go is now looking at it and figuring out, is that enough? Is that too much? Did I spend too much on certain categories that I can cut down next month? It makes you intentional in your spending, because then you can start to recognize areas of your expense where you can have the opportunity to cut things down. or you have the opportunity to move something from one area to another. So if you need more, you're finding that at the end of each month or at the end of each week or each fortnight, you don't have enough money for grocery, increase your budget. But if you're going to increase that, you have to maybe decrease some in some other areas. So maybe, you know, say for birthdays, you have to reduce your installment for your sinking fund 1 week or 1 month. So I think that's it. How much percentage of your income did you spend on that? So what it is, I think it explains on here. How to calculate percentage of income is percentage of income equals monthly spend total. So that divided by the total income. So let's do it for this video. Divided by your total income. Okay, times 100. So 8% of the income that came in, 8% of it went to grocery. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Normally it wouldn't be this long, but really if you're stuck on how to try and figure out what to do with all this information that you write down every day, this is what it's for. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you again next time. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and hit that bell notification to get notified of new videos. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.